Hey friends, it's Adam, and today we're going to take a deep dive into our home gym. Having a home gym has been one of the most rewarding investments that we've made, especially with children and just the craziness of life. We're going to talk about 5 mistakes that we've made over the years and set you on the right path so that you don't make these mistakes and deal with the same headaches that we had. Mistake number 1 is going to be not laying out the entire space before installing items in the gym, especially your more permanent fixtures. Like what I did here, this is similar to kind of what we did when we moved from our last house to this house. We drew a nice big picture, we drew the unusable spaces, the doors, the garage doors, the areas where we couldn't put things up on the walls, and then we looked at our permanent fixtures, so our rigs, our desk space, things that 1 are going to be permanently attached, or 2 would just be a really big pain to move. Like especially with our desk space, we have kettlebells, dumbbells, like really heavy stuff in there. So thinking about those permanent fixtures and where they're going to go first and creating that game plan before anything comes in is super important, especially because the day that big box comes in with all your gym equipment, you're going to be super excited and you're just going to want to throw everything up on the walls, and it may not make sense for how you want to use the space. So really take the time beforehand to prep and plan and lay it out exactly how you need it to function the way that you want to use it. Mistake number 2 is going to be poor accessibility. So not considering which items you're going to use the most and not having them the most readily available. So a really prime example of this is this vertical barbell hanger we have here. Prior to having this vertical one, we had a horizontal one where we were kind of behind the equipment here and we'd have to take the barbell out and kind of shimmy our way through. We'd bonk into the ceiling, bonk into the walls, bonk into the equipment. It was just a major pain. So what we did was we went ahead, we got the vertical one, we created a clear path, super accessible, just in and out to get those barbells. We use barbells every single day, so that was a huge plus for us. Same thing goes for items like dumbbells, kettlebells, kind of those items that we use a lot. We put them in spaces where we can easily take them out, put them back without having to move equipment around or really kind of get in and out of anything. It's just in, out, boom, ready to go, ready to work out, and it's great. Mistake number 3 is going to be not using the walls and the ceiling space effectively. So if you look at our space, we have a ton of open space towards the back. We have a ton of open space towards the middle here. I mentioned it earlier, but we primarily do functional fitness. So we want to be able to do handstand walks. We want to be able to do snatches. We want to be able to do things and not have ceilings in the way, not be limited by how things are laid out on our walls. So if you take a look, the rigs were really important to us. We put the rigs towards the back because if I'm coming off the rig and I want to do anything overhead, I want that highest ceiling space, versus if I were to have my rigs over here, these garage doors come down, boom, I'm going to hit my bumper plates into that, I'm going to hit my dumbbells into that. So really thinking about putting things on the walls to open up the center space, and then also thinking about that ceiling space if you do want to do things overhead so that you're not slamming into that ceiling. Mistake number 4 is going to be only purchasing from the big name fitness brands. So while I love Rogue Fitness as much as anyone else, not everything in your gym needs to be Rogue Fitness, especially if you're on a budget, especially if you want to, buy things without having to wait a long time before buying the next item. There's a lot of budget-friendly options out there and a lot of budget-friendly brands that you can get equally as good products for, a half or a third of the price. Some examples of this, let's take a look. So we have Titan Fitness here. I absolutely love Titan Fitness. They have free shipping. Their products are super high quality. They're similar to a Rogue, but I would say that they're a little bit cheaper than a Rogue Fitness. But then we have some kind of more random brands here, like some Amazon brands, Yokel, I'm probably saying that wrong, Seek Top, Day One Fitness, Renegade Strength. All of these pieces of equipment work awesome, and they're not name brand. Same thing with our dumbbells. I mean, our dumbbells are kind of mismatched. Our dumbbells, we got some from Marketplace. So, I mean, you don't need the top name brand in every single thing you buy, and you'll be able to acquire equipment a lot faster if it's not all the top name brand. Now, a little disclaimer with that, the items that take a lot of beating, the barbells, the plates, things like that, I would go for a really high quality brand and kind of splurge on those, because those are the items that are going to need the most maintenance and take the most wear and tear over time. But for things that you're not using every single day or things that aren't taking as much of a beating, look around. Amazon has some great sellers, read some reviews, reach out to me and I'll look into some products for you. There's a lot of really good options to consider aside from just those big name brands. The fifth and final mistake is delaying your home gym build in order to do a bulk order all at once. So a little backstory, when we started our home gym, it obviously looked nothing like this. It took years to acquire everything we have. It took patience, even though that was probably the hardest part, was spacing out buying equipment. But when we started, it was just 2 stall mats, a set of dumbbells, a barbell. It was during COVID, so gyms were closed. So we actually rented out bumper plates from our gym and a few other pieces of equipment. But if we had waited until we could have gotten the 2 rigs, the rowers, the Concept 2 bikes, the Echo bikes, all the barbells, all the bumper plates, we probably would have never started. So my biggest piece of advice is get yourself a few pieces of equipment you know you're gonna use often. So dumbbells can be used super frequently, kettlebells can be used super frequently, medicine balls, things like that. Maybe buy yourself a marketplace barbell to start before you upgrade into that bigger stuff, and just start the build and enjoy the process. Don't try and rush it all, don't try and get it all at once. Just get a few things. You can get a great workout with a really limited amount of equipment. So those are the 5 biggest mistakes that people make when building their home gym, just starting out. If you can just plan ahead, stick to the essentials initially, and be open to various brands, you'll be on your way to creating your perfect home gym, just like I've done here. I encourage you to comment some of the mistakes that you may have made when building your home gym, or some of the mistakes that are going on as you're currently in that prep process. I really had fun making this video. If you enjoyed it as well, please comment, subscribe, like, share, all the above. I look forward to making some more content for you.